Go ahead, put it on real tight. Hope you brought your best tonight. They say they got the fireworks, yeah, they say they got the show. Here around the chutes, you're the best, so let's go.
This is Texas Toast. I'm your host, Miss Helen. Kick back and enjoy as we toast the best from Texas.
Cheers. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Texas Toast. I'm Miss Helen, along with somebody I've been wanting on the podcast for a long time, Mark McKinney. Hello, and welcome to the Texas Toast podcast with me.
Hey, glad to be on here. It's an honor.
I'm so excited. Of course, prior to us officially coming on, we were discussing a little bit about how much I love your music, admire your music. Your music has gotten me through fun times. Your music is my go-to. It has been.
Aww.
So we're going to dig into the music. So how are things going for you right now? Because I know everybody knows Mark McKinney, and we're kind of want to jump in, see how the family's doing, how things are going with you.
Things are good. Couldn't be better. We're living out down here in South Austin. I have an eighth-month-old little girl.
Oh, wow.
Named Story, and we have a 3-year-old little boy named Luca, and then I have my older two as well, Jagger and Cypress. But yeah, things are good. Still doing a little writing. Doing a few shows, not as many as I used to. Me and my wife Cassie have a digital marketing company.
Oh, cool.
So we work remotely, from home or wherever we travel, and we do that. And then we just developed an app, a CRM app called Zen app at getzen.app. So we're launching that. We're in the beta phases of launching that.
So what kind of app is that?
It's a CRM. So it's like managing your marketing to clients and email marketing, text marketing, calendar bookings, all that kind of stuff for small businesses.
Oh, wow. That's really cool. You just do it all. Just Mr. Songwriter, Mr. Genius over there. So let's talk about your beginnings in the music. And I love how I know the story. Of course, you grew up in Big Springs, big influence, and hometowns are always an influence in your life. And that's where you first found music, and your parents were very supportive for you and your brother.
Yeah, absolutely. My dad had a band all through, high school in his young years, and he got me and my brother playing music when we were little and got us taking guitar lessons. And then me and my brother Eric started a band all through high school. We were playing Midland, Odessa, Lubbock, all that area. And then as soon as we both got out of high school, we moved to Austin and kept pursuing music, and, had a lot of different bands. We had the McKinney Brother Band. We had the Cosmic Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the Cosmic Cowboys had a record deal with Virgin Nashville, but the album never got to come out. And then I started going solo, just touring under Mark McKinney. And then we started, having a lot of success with Texas radio. And then we got a deal with Universal. And once again, they ended up not putting the record out, so we put it out independently. That was the Middle America album. But yeah, just put out a bunch of singles to radio, did well for me, and toured constant for about, 15 straight years. I think I was on the road constantly, every, at least
Yes,
3 days a week, if not more,
Yes, and you had multiple number ones on the Texas charts. Your first number one was your duet with Bree Bagwell and She Ain't Leaving, which was a great song.
Thank you. Yeah, that one. Yeah, it was the very first one. Me and Blue Edmondson actually wrote that song together. And
no, there's another one. Yes, I love these. I just love the old. We go way back. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I usually write alone, but I've through the years done a lot of little co-writes and stuff, and that was one that I did at a ranch out in West Texas. A bunch of us songwriters, something Josh Abbott put together, and me and Blue wrote that song, and I thought it should be a single and should be a duet, and asked Bree. She was a dear friend, and she was kind enough to do it, and that was the first number one for her and for I.
Okay, and I have so many to talk about. You should see my list. Okay, I mean, like literally, I have like my own Mark McKinney thing on my streaming music. That's usually like go to on the boat when just want to listen. But I want to talk about one in particular, and maybe we should.
Okay.
Okay, because I'm that quirky kind of girl. Me and my guy, that's like our song. Like, you know how people have like mushy songs?
Yeah.
Like that is our song.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one of those ones that man, I like really dug it when I wrote it, and I felt like it kind of had a vibe. And we didn't make it a single, and then I played it during shows for maybe like 1 year, and then it kind of fell off the set list. And it just I didn't get a lot of feedback from people on it. I had there was a handful of people that would tell me they really liked that song. So it feels so good when someone comes up and just brings up a random song like that.
Yeah, we had just seen you in Lukenbach, and I think you had just done a show. We had just did a phoner at the radio station, and then I was going through your music, and this was in the beginnings of me and my guy starting to date. And I was like, we were fishing. And I was like, you know what? This is kind of like our cutesy song. I kind of like this. So I'm just weird like that.
I love it. I love it.
Mushy,
Maybe you should. Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, and so another one is that everybody loves, Comfortable in This Skin. Oh my gosh, that song is just such a good jam. And I sing it so loud.
That's just a redneck rager,
Yes.
That was my first solo record called Get It On. And the whole idea of that album was every song we were upbeat. The only songs I recorded pretty much on that entire record were just kind of like almost kind of like anthems and real high energy. And our live show back then was super high energy. And Comfortable in This Skin, man, it's just one of those rager party song.
Yes. Yes, with a great meaning. I mean, it's just an all around great song. One of my faves.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. And then let's talk about,
you're not going to change me with your opinion.
That's exactly right. Yes. That's the best way to be. At least that's how I am. So Stolen Cash, the video that you did in Port A, love it.
Thank you. We did very lo-fi, just kind of shot all on like iPhones, and just kind of took a bunch of footage from that. My wife, actually, Cassie, did the video. I kind of wrote that song. Larry Joe Taylor had invited me down to Port Aransas to do some songwriting, and I kind of met my wife during that trip. She was living down there. She's from down there. And yes, I sort of, the song's not all 100% true, but it's kind of about her and I, hanging out down there and this and that. And put it out, and it did well, and it's still one of my favorite songs to play live. Like,
yes,
I can't play a show without someone wanting to hear that one. Always.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like us coastal girls. I mean, that was such a relatable song, even with my relationship. And then, there's nothing like, it's like if I have to sweep the floors, at least I'm sweeping up beach sand sometimes. We have sand everywhere because I have the beach on this side and the East Bay back here. So it's like, anyway, that and
getting sand.
Yes.
And you normally
Let's see what else. While I have you here, I mean, like I'm telling you, I was going to dig into this music, and then I remember that I want you to share the story and talk about it, because I remember when we got Sunshine into radio and read the backstory on it.
Yeah. Sunshine was a song that I wrote about my wife. She's had a chronic illness her whole life, and suffered with that, and she's doing great, but she's had 15 abdominal surgeries through the years for Crohn's and stuff, and so the kind of the backstory on that was just me, me sort of telling a side of that story. Because sometimes, she would be, we'd be up in Cleveland at the Cleveland Clinic going through a surgery and this and that. And I would just try to pull her back into the seeing the light, the positive, like it won't always be like this. We'll get through this, and things are going to get back to good and back to normal. And at that point, she didn't think she would be able to have children, and this and that. And that ended up happening for us and everything. So that's kind of what it's about. It's just about her struggle, and that you've got to just create your own happiness. You can't always rely on your circumstances. And that one went #1. We shot a music video in New York City because her and I both love New York City. And we made a trip up there with a videographer, and at a bunch of places, Grand Central Station, Central Park, and shot the music video up there. And it was a good time. It was fun. And that's still super special. Probably if not my favorite song I've ever written. It's one of the top 3.
Yes, yes. And that's what, I guess that's what I was talking about, trying to put it into words earlier when we first jumped on the podcast, is that your music can take you so many different places, as it fun and then so special, like when Sunshine came out, and then a big anthem for Texas, the United States of Texas.
Yeah. Never made that one a single either, but that one's become a staple.
Yes.
Anytime I play, people want to hear that one. And maybe one day I'll just put it out. I'll put it out to radio as a single, even though it's several years back, but there's no rules to that anymore, right? It doesn't have to be a brand new song. So yeah, I mean, that's just your hey, we're Texans, we're proud. You don't find pride like this anywhere. I've got travel over to Ireland and France and a few other places. And in Ireland, they're very prideful. They're a lot like Texans. Mm-hmm. They'll talk your ear off. They're very prideful about Ireland and stuff. But there's no other state that people are just as proud as Texas.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what that's it's the greatest country in America.
Yes, we are. And speaking of France, you got an award over there.
I did. We performed in 2008 at the Equa Blues Fest, and that was the only performance we did in France, and the France CMAs were there, and our final song of the night, we were doing a show also with Kevin Fowler was on the bill, and 2 of the other openers were Maren Morris and Casey Musgraves.
Wow.
And so the song of my show, I brought Fowler, Casey Musgraves, Maren Morris, and we're all on stage singing "Can't Always Get What You Want" together at the end of that thing. But anyway, I won best live performance for country music in France 2008, and it's on their 2009 awards, but it was from the year 2008.
Mm-hmm. So you've written a lot of songs that you actually have recorded, but you've written for a lot of other artists, right?
Yeah, I have. I've written. Fowler has cut some songs. I've written with Larry Joe Taylor, Kyle Park. I've written with Blue Edmondson, John Mabe out of Nashville. Several other guys up there in Nashville. Tom Shepard. Different people like. But I've had a few songs placed in a couple little independent films, and NASCAR licensed some songs for a while. Mm-hmm. That were when you would watch the races on NASCAR and ABC, that they would be playing Stomping Ground, and there was 2 or 3 of them.
I remember that back when that happened. Yes.
Yeah, it was fun to turn on the NASCAR race and they'd be going to commercial playing that song, and I'd be like, yeah, mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
And it seems like it just, for some reason, it's like your lyrics just stand out in your writing.
Well, thank you.
So what is your mojo? What is your inspiration when your I guess routine process when you're writing? How does this comes to you? It's just such good stuff.
Helen, it's so random. It's really never the exact same. Sometimes it'll just be this situation going on in life, and you're like, I kind of need to write a song about that. And sometimes it's literally just one line. You'll come up with some clever little line. And I recently, I'd say about a year ago, I wrote with Bob Schneider, and that song we pulled from just a bunch of random lines that we had that really weren't anything, but once we put them all together, it created a pretty cool song. But yeah, it's random. It's sometimes just sometimes I write a chorus first, and then I'm literally thinking, wow, that chorus says this. What verses need to say to complete the story? And then sometimes, I write from line 1 and write verses into the chorus. So it's just so random. Just thoughts come to. I've enjoyed co-writing with my wife. We've done quite a bit of co-writing on the World in Between record. Her and I wrote 2 or 3 songs together. Mm-hmm. Bridge.
Yes.
We wrote that together, and Bacon and Eggs is on there, mm-hmm. and I think we wrote a couple others on there as well, which was fun, kind of getting in a relationship, and then also creating art together is kind of fun.
Yes. So in all the years that you've been doing this, and you've been at this for a long time, of course, and you just look like you're so content. You look so super happy and content just looking at you. And it's like, so what was your motto? How did you handle things like when you were in the rush with the music business?
Well, I mean, how did I handle? I mean, I was just my mindset was always just to take every opportunity that was given to me. I tried not to turn down anything. You know, if they were like, "Hey, do you want to come be on this, Dallas morning TV show, one morning, and you get to play one song, and they're going to ask you 3 questions," so, whatever it was, and just have a good time. And every show, every evening, bring the energy. Just bring. We always try to make our live show very kind of infectious and energetic.
Yeah.
Lift everyone up where you had a good time and you left there going, man, that wasn't a waste of time.
That's right. And that's just what you do. That's just what you do. And I think it's good because we have a lot of the new and younger artists that listen to our podcast. And I think that's good, a good little message for them as well.
I've told a few people this, they've asked me for, other younger songwriters. And I always tell them, every performance, just whether there's 3 people in the room or there's 3,000 people in the room, perform like I mean, those people paid for their ticket. Perform like that's the one and only time they're ever going to see you, and that's the memory they're going to have of you. And even if it's just 5 or 10 people, you don't want them leaving with some bad memory, not getting their money's worth. And so just give it your all every performance you have. That's kind of always what I've told them.
Yes, good stuff there. So you're maybe playing like a few shows these days?
Yeah, I'm doing a few private things. I'm doing kind of a thing out in San Angelo here in a couple weeks. I did a little festival down by Lake Conroe, Houston, a couple months back. I'm just not taking as many with the babies, with an 8-month-old and a 3-year-old and our other businesses. I just a few here and there. I'm probably this year, I think I've maybe done 15 shows through the year or something like that. So just kind of being selective and still getting out there. I miss playing live, and I'm still trying to write a new record slowly, just stacking songs up. And I'm hoping next year to record again and get some more stuff put out.
Oh, wow. That would be exciting.
I definitely haven't stopped writing and stopped playing. I'm just doing less of it, trying to fit it in.
Well, at least you it's nice that you have this transition, you have this time, because you worked so hard and gave us such good music.
Well, thanks. I tried. I mean, every performance and every song I wrote, you always try to make it the best thing you can.
Yeah. So anything else we need to talk about before we wrap this up?
Well, maybe we need to go fishing.
Yes, we do. Yes, we've got to talk about that. You got to come.
Yeah. I would love to come down and go fishing. I've fished a lot down in Port Aransas and stuff, but I've never been at Gorda before. I've only driven through there. So
yes. All right. Well, we're going to definitely work on that. That would be freaking awesome. I would have you fishing on the boat, not just listening to your music on the boat.
I can bring my guitar.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I can't think of anything else to talk about. I appreciate you having me on and bringing up songs like United States of Texas. Maybe we should, and maybe those will get some more streams.
Yes, y'all, really. I mean, it's just like, it's always my go-to driving music, boat music, cleaning the house music. I mean, you've done such a great job over your career, and it's just been such a thrill to be able to see you and have you on the podcast. Seriously.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right. And one last question. If you were a cocktail, what would you be?
Man, I'd be a Bloody Mary. That's just my go-to. It's like my wife makes fun of me. She's like, like I can drink a Bloody Mary like every day. And she's like, how can you drink Bloody Mary? I just like them. I like tomato juice. I like spicy.
Yes.
I like vodka. So yeah, it's
Mark
healthy too.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Mark McKinney.
You bet. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And with a heavy tongue, she knew where I was from. As she left, I dared to say, well, you can go to hell, and hell, I'll go to Texas. I've had my fill of every place but home. Well, take away